Hello, everybody. This is Mike from the Hey, Are You Still There podcast. My wife Beth and I would like to invite you to join us each week as we examine life at the intersection of marriage, family, careers, and ministry. Through 28 years of ministry, 26 years of marriage, 23 years of professional careers, and 21 years of being parents to 3 kids, our fun and honest discussions promise to have something for everyone. And now, on to the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Hey, Are You Still There podcast. This is Mike.
And Beth.
And today is a special episode because we are going to be recapping our Big 12.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason this podcast is here.
Oh, that is. I am responsible for the Big 12.
You are.
Oh, y'all have me to thank or blame.
To bring everyone up to speed, super fast, 30,000-foot flyover. Last year, Beth and I both turned 50, and Beth had the idea on her birthday that she wanted to come up with a list of 12 things she has never done before and attempt to do them this year, or 12 things that would just be unique or different, and I guess... Did she would put challenges that she put some thought in, be very intentional with. Yeah. And so I love the idea so much, I stole the idea and said, well, I'm going to do my Big 12 also. And one of my Big 12s was start a podcast. And so
we did it.
We did it. And do you know that today is our 1-year anniversary?
I didn't know. Happy anniversary.
I know. 1 year of
I didn't
podcast.
Get us a card. I didn't get us something.
And you said we wouldn't make it 3 episodes.
I did say that. And also,
and now we have 60-some episodes.
Yeah.
1 year exactly.
And since we're 1 year in, if you want to send like huge financial donations or anything, we're cool with that.
Yeah, I'll put our Venmo and PayPal.
Yeah,
in there.
exactly. Or what is that other
I don't
thing?
have
People do
Cash App. I don't have that.
I was just going to say the Cash App.
Cool enough yet, I guess.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do today is Beth has her list of her 12. We'll go through those and see which ones she succeeded at, which ones she did not succeed at. We'll go through my 12. And then we'll do a little preview of what may come next for our Big 12. So go ahead, Beth. Let's just start off. What we'll do. Was there any you did not accomplish?
Yes. And
how many did you not accomplish?
Well, first of all, before I even do that, I just want to say, too, part of the intent of this, I think it was two or threefold. And the reason I want to say this is because we were talking about this a little bit, and Ross was like, well, what was the purpose? Is it to, like, make you do things you don't want to do, like to check off a to-do list? Is it to make you... And it's kind of like, it was to challenge me to do new things and be intentional and maybe say yes more, but also to push me outside of my comfort zone, but not to be like a burden. Does that make sense? Or something I absolutely don't want to do. And that's one reason I said up front, like, I'm not going to skydive.
You're the only one that can make this a burden.
Well, I know, but, well, that's true because you wouldn't put something on your list. But I was just saying in case anybody else is making their own, you know, like, well, I guess you could do whatever you want. You make the rules. The 2 I didn't get to do, the one was a trip just with Jacob. And I did spend some time with like Jacob and Josh or, you know, something like that. But I didn't get a trip with just Jacob.
Did you do a trip with both of them together?
We went and hiked in the mountains.
But not like overnight.
No, wait a minute. Did I? I don't think so. No, not with those 2. Not this year, not this calendar year.
I was going to give you partial credit.
But well, I mean, did we count like my birthday when we went? But you were there, so that doesn't count. And then, does it count when I went, though? Joshua and I drove down to see Jacob, not just to move him in, but to visit. And we stayed at Jacob's place with him. Did I get partial credit for that?
I give you partial credit.
Okay, because I feel like that one... I tried, and it wasn't like 2, we were just doing his work. We went and explored where he worked, and we went to the zoo, the Columbia Zoo. So I did activities with Jacob that way. Mm-hmm. But part of that is the struggle because, you know, I wanted to do it, but part of this is beyond my control. And because of him, you know, when I did this list, I didn't know that Jacob would be living in South Carolina in the middle of nowhere in the summer. You know, I didn't know what his schedule would look like and how little he would come home this fall or what. And he just has not had, he had no margin at all between the the moving, like literally he got out of school and moved. And
I did 2 trips with him, so I don't know why you couldn't do one.
Okay, whatever.
Don't
anyway,
build excuses.
All right. Well, this is why you're mean, because this already stresses me out and makes me sad that I didn't accomplish it, because I also just wanted to do it.
What was the second one you didn't get done?
It also involved, in some ways, Jacob. So some of my friends, a lot of my friends, like from college and stuff, live up north. And so, like one of my friends, Jill, she's in Boston. Marissa's in Ohio. Ellen is, just so many of the girls like that I did the 50-year trip with, they're in the north. And I think when I was talking about this, some of them were like, oh, you should like think about maybe doing some type of winter sport, like whether that be getting on your snowshoes and going out and, traipsing through the woods, I guess, in them, or snowboarding or skiing or something like that. And technically I have skied in my life, but not since right when we got married, probably like 1998. It's been that long. So I had put on there to do a winter sport. This is another that I do feel like I should get partial credit for, because I drove to Boone with Joshua and Maria, and we met Jacob. I went into the ski place. I paid for to ski. We waited in line for the equipment. And this is the one where the day that we were there, the people that worked there, I think we were there for 3.5 hours and still didn't have the rented equipment. And Jacob and Maria were able to go because there wasn't such a line for the snowboards. And Josh and I were trying to ski. We just never got to. And so they had to refund our money because it was just taking so long that we spent all our time in line. And so for me, I'm like, I drove there, I parked, I went in, I was in all my snow gear. I tried, as much as I could to do it, but it didn't work out. So it wasn't for lack of trying.
So you quit and gave up?
I did. Okay, that day I had to. And you know why this is so mean of you to do? Because I cried driving back. I was so disappointed in that not working out. And so for you to be like, you quit and gave up, and you're giving me that smirk right now, and I'm rolling my eyes and I'm so angry at you.
Was there anything else you didn't get accomplished?
No, those are the
I thought
2.
You put on there visit a state you hadn't been to.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But I don't, yeah, I did. Sorry. I didn't.
Then that's 3. So how many more didn't you do?
Well, because I'd forgotten that, because I'd also put in there, and I think this might have been I also had a little 50, which we don't have to get into, but I had a separate list. So I put in there like the whole trying to learn a video game. So I think that was on my little 50, not my big 12. I tried to learn. I was unsuccessful. I do not have the coordination.
So was the video game on the Big 12? Because that's what we're talking about.
I'm clarifying. I think you're right. I think I misput the video game thing down there. I think it was a little 50 and the state was a Big 12. But the thing is with the video game, there's certain buttons that turn your head or where you're looking, and certain buttons that turn you. And then you have to know with your finger when to do different things. It was so stressful. And I could not, I'm looking in the air, but walking down a hill or something. I was terrible at it. I do not understand how these kids are able to just sit and do it like it's second nature. I could barely function.
You can barely get Pac-Man.
That's true. But the other thing is, okay, on the visit a state, yes, I didn't make it to another state, but I revisited some states, and also I visited a few countries. So I guess I wasn't.
Countries equals state.
I wasn't ambitious enough. I don't know, but this was, this is the year we went to Antigua.
We went to a bunch of countries.
So that was new. I went to a lot of countries. So it's not like I sat around. And I think because I was going to other countries, that's why I didn't have the opportunity to go to another state, because it has to be a state I haven't been to. And it was going to require that I fly, because I've been to everything up and down, the East Coast. And when I was going to, that's in driving distance, easy driving distance, I was also trying to visit Jacob and Maria where they were this summer. So it just it takes up your weekends and or your vacation time. So I just couldn't make that one work.
All right. So 3 out of your 12,
Mm-hmm.
you did not get the check off.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very sad.
All right. So I had 2 that I didn't get done.
Mm-hmm.
I did not visit a new state.
Yeah.
A state I have not been to.
Right. And you were trying to really work it so you could.
Yeah,
but
I tried every
everything.
way possible to figure it out. But my problem is kind of yours. I have not been to the Northeast U.S.
Yeah.
So I've been to New York, but I've never been to and I've been to Delaware, but I've never been to Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine.
And you can't just get in the car and drive there in 5 hours and back. It's a haul.
Yeah. So, so I'm missing those upper corner, Northeast. I'm missing the upper Northwest, Washington and Oregon. I've never been there. And then I'm missing just a small stretch of flyover states.
That's the ones I'm missing.
So it's
Arkansas.
I either got to go Northeast corner, Northwest corner, or dead center of the U.S. Everything else I've been to. There's a app. Is it called Ben?
Yeah,
BEN. And you can track your countries and your states. And so if you look at that map, mine looks like a giant horseshoe. Where I just don't have those middle. Kansas, Missouri. I haven't been to Arkansas.
See, I haven't been to, you've been to like Oklahoma. I haven't been to Oklahoma, and I haven't been to Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas. What else did we have? I mean, we've been to places like South Dakota. I've been to North Dakota. I mean, I've been to some, and on the East Coast, unlike you, I've done pretty much the entire East Coast, except I want to give New Jersey credit and not, I think I really need to not count that one and go do New Jersey. And I haven't done Vermont. And so I need to knock those out. But the East Coast is almost done for me. And I've even done Pacific Northwest, And so that's part of our problem. We have a few that we don't overlap on, like I've been or you've been. And then they're also, like you said, they're just there in the middle. And they're not places. Some of these others were easy to get because you have a friend that lives there or something, or there's a work conference, or there's a mission trip. We've had things outside of it's not like we just woke up and we're like, oh, I'm going to go to North Dakota, or South Dakota. We went to the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. We had a reason to go there. I had a friend that lived in North Dakota. I had a reason to go there. But there's not a lot of conferences or anything, at least that I've ever seen in Arkansas and I don't have any friends that live in Arkansas. So it just makes it harder.
Why do you feel the need to make all these, to justify why you didn't get to do this?
I don't know, because I feel I feel very judged by you, because right now you're sounding very oh, it's okay. But you've been kind of going around oh, how many did you get done? I got almost all of mine done.
I did beat you.
Yes, exactly.
10-9. But I'm just saying, you keep, not just here on the podcast, but to me, walking around the house, trying to give me excuses why you couldn't accomplish these things when I don't care.
They're not excuses. These are justifications.
There's
fine, a difference.
But I don't feel any different.
But also, I just find it so, I don't know if the word is ironic or what, but that my idea for my Big 12 that you and took then became a competition that you, quote, beat me at. I mean, that's
I built a better mousetrap.
Okay. Anyway.
The second one I didn't get done was go tent camping by myself.
Yeah.
So I'd been tent camping with youth groups before, with church groups, hiking.
With me when we did that part of the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never have by myself.
Yeah.
And so, I like some of these TV shows that, whether it be Alive or Naked and Afraid or whatever it is, where you're out there by yourself,
and you're convinced that you can do it. You can just rub two sticks together on Naked and Afraid and make fire.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not even looking for that. I would literally just camp at a state park.
Yeah.
That would have a bathhouse or something.
Hey, it's cooling off now. You could go one night. It was 30 degrees if you want to.
I may.
Yeah.
But it's a new year. So your birthday was last week. So the year ended. So I'll have to look to,
Oh, I
to
love
next time.
so like where some people's calendar year is the calendar year, January to December. Some businesses do the fiscal year based on like, ending in June and starting in July. So our year is based around my birthday. I like this.
Yeah.
October 26th is the start of, it's the new year.
That's New Year's Day.
That's new. I love it.
Or is it New Year's Eve?
I don't know because everything started after. Maybe it's New Year's Eve. My birthday is New Year's Eve.
So those are the two I didn't get done.
Mm-hmm.
So those were the two.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to? We don't need to pour in a lot of explanation.
Because we've already talked about a lot of them.
But do you want to, how do you want to, do you just want to run through the ones you got done and kind of talk a little bit about them? Do you want to rank them?
I don't really want to rank them. I think I'm going to just talk about them. Like, I did a trip with just Joshua and a trip with just Maria.
Where'd you go?
Well, with Joshua, I got that one knocked out early. We went over his birthday weekend to New York City. It was a long weekend. It was MLK weekend, and it was his first time in New York, and he loved it. Just absolutely loved the city. It was so cold that I had hand warmers, multiple layers of clothes, because it was not just chilly. It was like the wind would cut through you. But we saw a Broadway play. We found this, I knew he liked like graffiti and things like that. We found this like area you could kind of walk through and see that. We just kind of wandered around. We went to Museum of Natural History, which he thought was cool. Went to Museum of Modern Art.
And we have a whole podcast about this.
Yes. And then with Maria, and I'd gone with her to New York just before I went with him, right before her break ended. But of course, I've done a lot of trips with
We should have
Maria.
just taken Jacob to New York.
Well, he doesn't want to go to New York. Jacob has no desire at all to go to a really big city like that. He's more, he wants to go to smaller, more rural, outdoor kinds of things. So, so I did those. Write a book. We have talked about that, but we will plug it again because it is getting closer to the time of Advent, and it is essentially an Advent challenge. And so you were part of what helped push me over the edge of perfectionism and stuff, which we've talked about a lot, to actually write that book. But it's called Wandering Light, and it's got 28 devotions as well as like challenges you can do. Really, so that was a huge commitment. Spontaneous trip. Also did a whole podcast on that. That was when I spontaneously planned with a friend to go to Germany. So that's why I say I didn't visit another state, but I spontaneously went to Germany. That has to count. So
there's a lot of yours that are based around travel.
I know. I had a new country here.
New country, new state.
Yeah.
Take a trip with all three kids.
Yeah.
Individually.
Yeah.
Do a spontaneous trip.
Yeah. It's
half your list is about traveling.
I know, but that's my favorite thing. And I wanted to push myself
I don't think that's pushing yourself if you're like doing what you love.
Okay, time out. Let's rewind. When we talked about this list was whatever I wanted it to be, and I didn't need to justify my list, and I don't need to justify why I picked what I picked. Let's just remember, let's rewind to that.
You wanted to do things that you had never done because you never had the time to do them.
But I've never done a spontaneous trip. We've talked about how much I plan some of these things and stuff. And so, in even the new country, we'd gotten into a pattern. Like, we might go back to like Jamaica or somewhere like that. We might go back to certain places we'd already been. And so that was why that was important. But we also have podcasts about those travels.
Did you have a trip on there with just me?
No.
Listed?
Sorry.
Son of a...
Sorry. Well, you knew this. Don't get angry.
I swear I thought that was on there.
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. Don't cry. Don't look at me like that. Artistic endeavor. So I think I talked a little bit about this, but this is where I looked. I found our local library was offering some acrylic painting classes, and I asked my mom if she wanted to go because she likes art. And so we went to two of these art classes and painted two different things. And so that was a cool thing, just to like push myself to do something, because I'm not very talented when it comes to painting or anything. And so just learning, using a different part of your brain, using, that new technique. I started a podcast because I added that after you did. Because I was like,
that's bad. No.
Well, maybe that was why the video game was coming in. I already talked about the video game. That's where this is 12. If I put that, but
I'm not even sure you even wrote down 12 things.
the video. Okay, I'll go back through and count. Anyway, and then the last one was they'll learn a new sport, and that was pickleball because that is a great example. That and probably the art classes. Okay, so you can criticize like the travel and stuff, but those are things like the pickleball, for example. When I looked at the lessons and stuff, every time I would look at them, I would think, I don't have time for that. Or maybe if they offer a class at this time of day or when whatever. But because I had on my list that I wanted to do this, I was like, I'm signing up. And I just kind of like called you and said, all right, you're signed up. We're going and we're doing this. And so I think that's an example of a time when like it made me just go and made me show up. And even though I didn't feel like I had time, and now it's a hobby we really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about yours?
That was it? That was 12?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
I talked fast. And plus, we've done so much talking about mine that, like, I don't feel like, like...
No, just there was things I thought were on there that weren't.
Oh, and like so, what? Like a trip with just Mike?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just thought there was...
Well, the Little 50. Like, one of the things on the Little 50 was going to, like, a small town play, which we did because Kim gave us for Christmas, like, that small town play. That was one. Like, yeah. And there were other things on mine that it was so ambitious having the Little 50, but like, so I had other things. That's where I know you're making fun of me, but when I was going back, even when I was writing the list, I wasn't clear what merited being on the Big 12 versus what was Little 50 material.
Right. All right. Unlike you, I have 10 that I accomplished.
Yeah.
I did have take a trip with just Beth. How about that, Beth?
Yay. Okay. And I helped you accomplish that, just like I helped you accomplish this podcast. You should be thankful.
All right. We'll get to the podcast in a second. The trip with just you, we went to Antigua. So that also knocked out another one of mine, which was visit a new country. Mm-hmm. So I was able to knock out both of those really quick. And we still got to visit other countries throughout the year. We went to Austria, Poland, the Czech Republic. Mm-hmm. So, and those are all on other podcasts. Yeah. People can hear about them if they want. But so I was able to knock out a trip with you and a new country all in one. Mm-hmm. I had the trips with the kids, Josh, Maria, and Jacob. Mm-hmm. I want to point out you stole that from me this past time because when you were asking me my Big 12 and I gave it to you, you're like, ooh, that's good. I'm going to use that.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, I like the way, too, that you make this with such a negative connotation, like I stole it, as opposed to what you picked was so good that it inspired me to want to do the same thing.
It inspired you to do 2 out of 3.
But okay, anyway, keep going, please.
So anyway, that's 4, right? So that's 4 of my 10.
And Maria, you were with her.
Or 5 of my 10,
You did like Epic Universe and all that with her.
I went to Orlando with her. Jacob and I went to the Auburn football game.
Which we talked about on the
Joshua's is a little in the gray. Josh and Jacob and I went to the PGA Championship and went and spent the night and did a guy's trip, just the 3 of us. Josh and I also took several one-night trips to like the mountains.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I spent a lot of time with Josh this year, which I loved every second of it because you were gone so much. You were fulfilling your Big 12, so you had all these trips. And so Josh and I were bachelors, I feel like, most of the year. So we did a lot together.
Plus, Josh got a lot of like intense attention, like going to the Pearl Jam concerts and stuff with you last year. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So that's 5 of mine right there. Was the 4 family members, a trip with each of you individually, and then visiting a new country. Mm-hmm. So that leaves me 5.
Yep.
And I ranked my 5.
Oh, okay.
With what I enjoyed the most. And you're going to get mad at me for saying this. I feel like my list was a bit more dynamic than yours.
Here we go.
I feel like mine was a stretch you. And maybe we just misunderstood or we had different definitions of what the Big 12 was going to be. You chose 12 things that you knew you would enjoy. I chose really half of mine or brand new crazy stuff that I wasn't sure if I would like or not that would push me out of my comfort zone.
Well, I would like to say later, and we'll talk about this when we talk about our new list. Part of the problem is I've done most of the things that push me outside of my comfort zone. I've done a lot of them. Like I even had trouble. I had to Google ideas and I would go through and it'd be like, yeah, done that.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, okay. But I'm just saying that makes it harder to. Okay, keep going.
Well, okay. Well, none of the 5 things that on my top 5 you've ever done before.
I know, but I'm not interested in doing some of them.
Well, you're doing some of them.
Well, the podcast. I did. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
You actually 3 of the 5 you've done.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, let's hear them.
Number 5, I ran a 5K. What are you laughing about?
Okay. Anyway,
are you going to allow me to talk about the 5K or what? No.
Yeah. I was just laughing because, it was a slog to do the 5K, and it's also like.
But are you going to it was a very unique 5K. You're saying, no, I can't talk about how unique it was.
No, but
I'll just say that. It was a very unique and special, one-of-a-kind type 5K.
Uh-huh.
And, I went for it and did it, and I accomplished it.
Yes,
I did it.
You did it.
So that was number 5.
Yes. Okay.
The 5K was 5.
And the only reason I laugh about it, too, is just, and I know parts of these do stretch you, but that wasn't like the half marathon you have to like exercise more and stuff for. But you talk about some of the things, some of my stuff were
Did you have a half marathon on yours?
Yeah, sorry, I might have skipped that when I went. No, I ran a half marathon. But like that took a lot of investment of time and stuff. So anyway, some of my things weren't just like
you keep on, and I'm going to dig deep into this 5K.
Okay, go ahead.
Because mine was a real investment.
Okay, go ahead.
Was it or was it not?
It was. Yes, go ahead.
All right. Number 4, start a podcast.
Yes, that's number 4. That should have been number 1. You seem to have so much joy from this.
You know what? And that's what I want to talk about. You have more joy, I think, than I do about it.
What?
I love my podcast. I love what we're doing here. We get lots of compliments. We have people all over the world that listen. It's been remarkable who we've been able to reach. Mm-hmm. But you enjoy it just as much as I do, if not more, because you get kind of angry when I have to do one without you.
Well, not that. It's more like, why didn't you consult me before you just randomly decide to do one without me? Because there was, there have been times when I've been gone and I know that. But then there are other times when it's just like, oh, well, I just recorded it by myself. Why? You didn't even ask me.
Because you were busy. You were too slammed.
If we had named it Meth, like that first episode, you would have had to have me in every one.
Again, it was my idea to do a podcast. You reluctantly did the first 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until people actually started listening and commenting and telling us how much they enjoyed it that then you were like, oh, okay, this could be fun. And it is fun.
Well, it's just fun because, like we've talked about before, it's a conversation starter. Like people mention things and they're like, oh, I heard that on your podcast. So it's a way to connect with people that I didn't know as well, but then I can get to know. Or so that part's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Take an improv class. Mm-hmm. So I did a series. It was a 3-part improv class. So I took improv classes for 3 straight weeks. I was going to take an additional 3 weeks, which would have been, I guess, like if the first one is Improv 101, this would have been 102. But we didn't have enough interest from our group, so that didn't happen. But I did take the improv class, got to do improv.
And I gave you, that was the time I actually surprised you with a gift by giving you that.
That was a great Christmas present.
Yeah. And that I was really proud of you for going and doing it.
Because again, that pushed me out of my comfort zone. It's not something I naturally would have gravitated to. But it was something in my head that I always thought that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Number 2, get a tattoo.
Yeah, you did it.
I did it.
And you went big.
Yes.
Which was surprising.
As my mom says, go big or go home.
That's right. That is definitely what your mom says.
That's how she lives her life.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, I didn't tell anybody I was getting a tattoo outside of our friend Laura. And I had to consult with Laura because I use her tattoo artist. And so we got it set up. And again, there's a whole podcast about that if you want to go listen to it. But I just came up with the design myself. I wanted something meaningful. And I went and got this tattoo and surprised everybody.
Yes.
And I think people were shocked I got a tattoo, and they were shocked at how big the tattoo is.
Right. But it was very thoughtful, and it has a lot of meaning, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my Big 12 is on my body forever.
Mm-hmm.
Which, on a side note, I mentioned this to you, and you acted like it was the grossest thing you'd ever heard. I told Beth that if I die before her.
Oh, gosh, this is disgusting. Keep going.
She has my permission to have my tattoo removed and put in glass so that way she can always have that. She can set it up on her mantle, hang it over her bed, whatever she wants to do.
Crazy thought.
I've heard this is a thing people are doing now.
But crazy thought. Rather than like skinning your arm,
just cut it off.
No.
It could be a back scratcher.
I make sure I get some good photos of it.
No.
And I frame a photo.
How about you get the tattoo on your arm?
The same tattoo?
Yes.
With me as the bee in the middle?
Absolutely. No. You are the bee in the middle.
Oh, not funny. Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, I read about there was a woman whose husband died and he had a tattoo and she wanted that tattoo. And so the funeral home or whoever was able to remove that portion of skin. She was able to send it to some lab. They sent it somewhere and it got sealed in like glass or some type of plexi type material thick. And so now it's like she has that forever.
Okay, maybe I would need to see it, okay? But just the initial hey, why don't you just scrape off my arm and put it in glass? That didn't sound very appealing. Like, just like you always say that you're going to stuff me like a bear.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just can't tell sometimes what's real. Anyway.
The tattoo is real, and I got that.
Yeah.
Number one, writing my book. So that was my number one.
Because that you felt like was the most like...
Oh, that was my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can travel. I mean, anybody can just get on a plane and go somewhere.
But not anybody does. Not everybody.
But not anybody does. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get tattoos.
Yes.
But again, not everybody does. You know, the things on my list, especially my top five, were all very unique that would push the boundaries of just about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, knowing those 5 things that I did, do you think there was another human being on the planet that did those 5 things this year?
No.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's, to go, I mean, just thinking about that. But for me, the crowning achievement was the book because I'm not a writer.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy writing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. And so for me to be able to sit down and work on that, and again, it was something that I didn't tell anybody I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it done. And then when I put it on the list, that was if I had to rank most likely to least likely, that would have been my least likely to get done. I would have thought, well, the book thing probably won't happen, but I'll put it on there just in case. And again, it's not a super big book. It's not War and Peace. It's not anything. It's not C.S. Lewis. It's not uber deep. But it's sold a bunch of copies so far. Everyone seems to enjoy it. And,
it's something you never thought you would do.
I know it.
Yeah.
So there you go. You can go to Amazon.com and order Equipped.
Yeah, we should figure out how to sell ours as like a pair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, together. Anyway, yeah.
So anyway, that's it. That's my Big 12. So I feel good with my Big 12.
I feel okay, and I think I just got stressed when I started thinking about my next Big 12, and I understand completely what you're saying about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and doing these things that stretch you, but when I started looking, like I was Googling, like 50 things that 50-year woman should do, or a bucket list items, or I was just Googling trying to get ideas. And so many of the things, even if they seemed a little off the beaten path, I'd already done, because there were things like hike up a mountain. I just did that the other weekend. Half marathon, just did that. Take a dance class. I've actually taken a few adult dance classes, over the course of my adulthood. Music lessons. I took piano lessons as an adult. Team sports. I played on that co-ed soccer team with you, even though I was terrible. Start a podcast. We did that. Write a book. We did that. Start a consulting company. I have that. I did that. I did that for a little while in whatever year it was. Teach a class. I started teaching and I'm already still teaching. So then I was like, okay.
But here's what happened. Last week I said, or whenever it was, I said, hey, we need to do our recap of our Big 12 and update everybody. And you were all for it. And I said, and we can also debut our next Big 12. And you said, wait, we're doing this again? I mean, this was your idea. And I said, well, I'm doing it again. You don't have to do it again. And so you don't have to. This is, you're criticizing me for turning this into a competition. You don't have to do it again.
But I think for me, what I'm struggling with is I kind of have in my head what I want it to be, but I'm having trouble identifying it. Because the other thing is, this is what I was trying to articulate to like you and Ross last night when I was talking about this. I'm trying to think of really quirky, fun things to do. So then when I Googled that, there was stuff like extreme ironing, where you take an iron and you iron clothes.
See, that's just stupid.
That doesn't make any sense.
The things you do for your Big 12 should be things that will make a memory, enhance your life, enhance somebody else's life. It shouldn't be to do something just because you've never done it before.
Right. But but even one of the examples on there, a bioactive terrarium, like for a reptile. Josh and I did that. Like we went and purchased the materials.
Well, I told you what to do. And I'm going to go ahead and give you my 12, Beth.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and give you, Beth has no idea what my 12 are.
Okay.
And this will give you a jump start as you think about yours this week. Because what I want to do is I want our listeners to comment on our Facebook page, comment on any of the ways they listen on podcast land, and give you some tips or some suggestions.
And I have some ideas, but I need them to help me refine those ideas. And I'll do that after you do yours. Yeah. I'll tell them. Okay. So let's hear it.
And then next week, you can debut your list.
Yes. The finalized list.
Yeah, because I came up with my list pretty easily.
So it's kind of like the 10 Commandments, but it'll be the 12, Big 12, and I'll carve it in stone so you can't say.
Well, to be fair, you couldn't even remember your Big 12 today.
Okay,
so
anyway, just go with
it's like
the
you
list.
wrote your 10 Commandments on a Post-it note.
just go.
What I told you to do, and you don't have to do this, this is what I did. I took the 2 I didn't accomplish this year. Yes. They automatically went on the list.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So on my Big 12, from now until October 26, 2026, 26, I put visit a new state and tent camp by myself for at least one night. I might try to knock both those out at the same time.
Yeah.
I even thought about challenging myself to see how many of these I could do in one shot.
Yeah.
And I'll get into some, and you'll see that it might be doable. So, and these are in no order. So I was just jotting these down, and so they're not like they're ranked as far as what I want to do for or least or whatever. So visit a new state, tent camp by myself, the next 10. Lose 20 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds in the next year. I think when you get older, when you hit 50, your metabolism dies. And I think it's easy just to say, this is who I am. And I have found myself saying that. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with how I look. What I'm not fine with are the aches and pains that I feel. And I think carrying the extra weight, not stretching properly before we go play pickleball, not, it's that kind of stuff.
The same things I said, like about my knees and my feet and stuff.
It contributes
it would probably help us feel more, like you said, less pain and just more.
Like my back kills me all the time now. And, I'd like to take care of that, and I think taking better care of my body, just losing some weight. And I'm not even saying I've got to work out. I'm not saying I want to get ripped. I just want to drop 20 pounds. And
did you pick 20 pounds because that's a time when you felt like you could still, you liked how you felt when you
Yes.
were 20 pounds lighter?
Yes.
Like you liked
If
how
I
you
was-
were playing and
If
doing?
I was 20 pounds lighter, that's when I felt good about how I felt physically.
Mm-hmm.
It was that nice combination of, I'm not skinny.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to look at me, but you know what? I feel good.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I'd like to lose 20. And on a side note, not just has my metabolism shut down, but I'm also on a couple of medications. And one of them coincided with some of this weight gain. And so I have that going against me too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to fight the medication because I'm not going to stop taking it.
Yeah.
Because
you need it.
I need it. And so I'm going to fight the medication and try to do what I can to lose 20 pounds. So that's on my goal for next year. So between now and then, I want to run a new personal best in a 5K.
Which, by the way, can I insert one thing? I could say that you copied me on the losing weight because I have started a program that I'm in. So maybe that's one of mine and you copied me.
All right, lose 20 pounds.
No, but I'm just saying the problem with this is if I had that on my list next week, you would say that I copied you. But
I would.
But I want people to know that I have proof that I started.
Let me tell you something.
Like before you.
And I'm going to make a lot of women mad. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So hang on.
Oh, please don't.
Katrina, Marissa,
Jenny
Shelly,
listens now.
Jenny,
Taryn.
Taryn, whoever.
Yeah.
I think any woman over the age of 25 is in a perpetual state of I want to lose weight. You're never not trying to lose weight. It doesn't matter. So it's not like you've set a goal. If I would have asked Beth at 50, at 49, at 47, at 37, you'd have been like, I'm trying to lose weight. Well, yeah, all women are.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
Okay. But I think for me, it's interesting you said what you said. When I talked to my doctor about things before, because it was kind of like for me, I hit 50 and my body composition changed. And she had said the same thing, like, my blood work and stuff was okay. But she said, when you start worrying about it more, taking it more seriously, is when you find that it's impacting your ability to do the things you want to do. And that's been, I love running. I've always loved running. I mean, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I like the way I feel after I run. And, but that is the easiest exercise for me to enjoy, running is. And I've had issues like we've talked about, like pain and stuff. And so I think if I don't know exactly what my goal is, but I think if I could lose a little bit, I think it would help my knees and some of my back pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So back to my list.
Sorry. Keep going.
New personal best in a 5K.
There you go. I like that.
I've ran 2 5Ks. Neither one of them, and granted, I did medal in one of them, but
because you were you got what, third place,
third.
and you were there were only 3 men in your age group there.
I medaled in one of them.
Okay, keep going.
I would like to break a certain mark in a 5K, and so I'd like to do a 5K again and break that. Read 10 books, and that's not a big deal for
10
you.
books a month easily, and sometimes. So anyway, keep going.
Oh, look at the big brain on Beth.
Sorry, I like to read.
I don't like to read.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I broke it down. I am a nonfiction guy. I can't remember the last fiction book I read, but I said I'm going to read 5 nonfiction and 5 fiction.
Ooh, can I please help pick the fiction?
So I'm gonna read some.
I just want you to read something about dragons or dystopian future, please.
No.
Oh gosh, they're so good. No. Okay.
Take a stand-up class.
Oh, okay.
I did the improv class.
Yeah.
I'd like to do they do a 5-week stand-up comedy class.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do that.
That's cool.
Publish 2 more books.
2?
Yeah, 2. I published 1 this year. I'd like to do 2. And then I think I'm going to be done. I think
Forever.
3 books.
You retire. That's your Mount Rushmore.
That's I get
Mount
my
Everest.
trilogy.
I'm sorry, your Mount Everest there that you climbed.
I get 3 books out. And my plan is, this book was small. It was treated like a devotional that could be used in a group setting, a solo person, or if you didn't even want to do the questions, if you just wanted to read it, you can do that. But I have another book that I've almost finished that I'm working on that I hope to have out in January. It's going to be exactly the same kind of style. And then I have another one that I have an idea for that I hope to have out maybe by May. And then next September-ish, what I'd like to do is put all 3 of those books together.
Oh, and like a big book.
But take out the questions.
Yeah.
This will just be a legit book that somebody would buy and could read through. And then it would have new content because I'd have to weave the 3 together, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. Attend a new sporting event.
Now that could be hard for you to find because you've been to so many sporting events.
I have one in mind.
Oh, what is it?
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, okay.
But I do have a sporting event in mind. But I would like going to the Auburn game with Jacob gave me that I've been to every pro sport and college sports, and so I'd like to go to see an event that I've never seen before. And then next in line with that, attend a concert of someone I've never seen.
And you are going to get that one checked off.
I'll get that one checked off in a couple of weeks. But I put on there headliner. Because you always go to a concert and they have some local yokel open up for them, and you're like, well, I've never seen this person.
Yeah, but this would be like you're paying to see this person.
I'm paying to see the person
to.
On the stage.
Yeah.
That's the main headliner.
Like that Sabrina or whoever that Maria's going to see, and you're like, I've never heard of her. It would be like if you went to her concert because you barely even know any
songs. Or that Pink
songs.
Pony Club person.
Yeah, Chapel Roan. Yeah, they'd be like, you've done,
Yeah.
It'd be like you paying to go to them because
but
they're
I
the
couldn't
main...
even ballpark how many concerts I've been to in my life.
Right.
I mean, I could not ballpark it. And I've seen a ton of artists. So there's not a whole lot of like big artists out there from my generation that I've never seen.
Right.
And so some of the newest artists I don't really care about. And like this Chapel Roan or whatever. But
even though Chet loves her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next 3. Visit a national park I've never been to. We've been to.
I should go count over there on our map. But
there's 62 or 63 national parks, something like that. We've been to at least a third of them. I'd say. So, and that's one where I think I can visit a new state
and visit a national park,
tent camp by myself,
in a national park,
and in a national park.
Yeah,
I think I can do all 3 of those at one time.
Yeah.
And speaking of visiting places I've never been. I want to visit Mount Mitchell.
Oh, you've never been to Mount Mitchell?
I've never been to Mount Mitchell. Mount Mitchell is not only the tallest mountain in North Carolina, it is the tallest mountain east of the Mississippi. So that would be cool to be able to go. But I've never done that. I don't know why, but it's right here, like however many hours
in your
away.
Backyard. Yeah.
And I've never been to Mount Mitchell. So that's also another one I thought I could maybe go and
you could tent camp.
I can't do that now because it's already snowing at the top of Mount Mitchell.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
but
that can be 4 years down the road when you're in extreme Big 12, like extreme sports, extreme Big 12. Yeah.
And then my very last one, and this is kind of a write a book type thing. Plant a garden.
That's on mine as an idea. Because I have all those indoor plants and I had like either mine was a garden or different outdoor plants, like shifting my focus from that greenhouse in there to out, but because I'm not good with outdoor plants. And and
I'm not even talking about tilling up a piece of land. I'm talking about getting even like some raised flower beds.
Yes.
And putting up.
That's what I envision.
I've never had a garden. I think I want to try it and see what happens. I'm old enough now where I think it's expected.
Yeah.
And, and so I'm going to give it a try. So that's my Big 12. Visit a new state, tent camp by myself, lose 20 pounds, new personal best in a 5K, read 10 books, do a stand-up class, publish 2 more books, attend a new sporting event, attend a concert of someone I've never seen, visit a new national park, visit Mount Mitchell, and plant a garden. That's my 12 for 2026.
Nice.
So I want you to think about that as you come up with yours. And I don't even want to get into yours right now.
But can I not tell people ideas so they can help
no.
us? No, listen, just let me.
I think they need to come in. I don't want you to sway their opinion.
But what I don't want them to do, though, is tell me, like, what happens before is a lot of people will tell me things that I've already done. And I know they won't know that. But
I know. So you can't go through and list everything you've done
but
in your
I can't
life.
tell them, some of the ideas I had. Well, let me just tell you, too. I don't want to sway them, but, like, some things I could use input on was like, you talked about how much I love to learn and how curious I am. And I love museums, but I also really love quirky museums, like the Museum of the American House Cat. And so I started looking at, like, what are some fun, really crazy museums? And there's something like the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia. And they said it's like with a medical school, and there's like skulls and a part of somebody, like, I can't remember it, part of Albert Einstein's brain or something. I mean, it's just crazy stuff that was there. But that would be quite a commitment, because I would be like, not just like driving down the street to a certain museum. And I thought about 2 festivals, because some of them are kind of lame, but there's some really cool festivals. Like there's the Picklesburg Festival in Pittsburgh, but I can't have too many of these, because to your point, I traveled a lot this year and I can't travel, as much necessarily. But I was trying to think of some things, but I also forecast the garden. One thing I will say is going to be on there is to visit, I think I'm going to say 3 new state parks, because you and Jacob shamed me about my comment about Hanging Rock and visiting state parks. So I was like, well, fine. I will go ahead and try to put a few of those on there.
And I went and looked up after you said that to try to find if there was any kind of rankings of the North Carolina state parks. And the only ones I could find, this will shock you, is on Reddit. Oh. And people would rank theirs. And nobody had Hanging Rock number 1. A couple people had it top 5.
Okay.
Most had it top 10.
Well, then what did they have as number 1 and 2? Like, what things did they love?
I'll have to go back and look.
Oh, I'm just wondering, because they may make it on my list if I haven't been there.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll share it with you. But yeah. So, but Hanging Rock was top 10 to top 5. Well, consistently.
And one of the things that I also want to do, and this is, is I wanted to do this so bad when Jacob had his job. He had like that swampy area. I wanted to go out in a kayak in that. And that is going to probably be one of mine that could tie in with the state parks. I would like for one of my state parks to be in one of those areas. Like most of the state parks I've done are more hiking focused, or there's 1 or 2 at the beach, like literally it's the beach.
I don't think you could handle it.
Okay. Well, thank you. That means it's quite the stretch then.
Only because you're going to be bugged out.
No, that's why I have to go in the winter. I have to go when the mosquitoes are dead. Because, like, people don't well, you talked about it on a podcast, how much the mosquitoes love me. They do. They love me so much, and they destroy me. I mean, and so... yeah, so that would be, but those are some things I'm thinking about. But then, we had talked about like taking a new class or something. Like, is there some kind of class I could take?
Cooking class.
I'm not really interested in that, but
it's like chemistry, but you can eat it.
I did have one thing. I have a lightsaber now. One of Maria's friends came to visit, and he makes lightsabers. So I have a lightsaber that lights up and that talks. And there's true like lightsaber spinning moves and stuff. Now, I know what you're going to say. Tell me what you're going to say, who I'm going to be like.
George Michael Bluth.
George Michael Bluth. Yeah. The people who don't know, they need to probably just look up. Should they just look up George Michael Bluth?
Yeah, Arrested Development. Star Wars. Just look it up. And there's a scene, and I know you're thinking, but I was like, now that is something different. But it's also kind of, it takes a little bit of skill, kind of like when I learned to do a baton back when I was little or something, like it. And Maria could probably even teach me, because she used to have all those moves, when she was out there doing it. Why are you like, okay. Anyway, that may be the weakest of all of them.
Why? What am I going to do with the lightsaber if I don't learn to use it? I have to learn to yield my lightsaber.
If it was a real lightsaber, you could take an umbrella and do the same thing.
I do have a lightsaber umbrella.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it could
like,
be any pole. Just because it's a lightsaber don't mean it's like...
But it would look really cool if I learned to do stuff and change the colors.
Yeah, I bet it would look real cool with our neighbors staring out the backyard, watching you sling this thing around, dropping it half the time.
Okay. Well, okay. And this is why my dreams are crushed.
I'm just trying to challenge you, man.
Yes, I get. Okay, so
I don't want to crush. I love. This is a great idea you had.
the lightsaber.
No, the whole Big 12.
Oh, okay.
I want to see you stretch yourself.
Yes.
That's not stretching, Beth.
The lightsaber could be
A cooking class is stretching, Beth.
I don't. But again, I don't want it to be a chore. It's going to have to
Mountain
be a
climbing
fun.
would stretch Beth.
Well, I've done like a rock climbing wall, but not like
I'm talking about going up
this.
Pilot Mountain.
You're trying to get rid of me. I can't learn to mountain climb in like. I mean, I'm not going to have the time and the equipment.
You could run the 5K with me.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll try to do a better time.
Okay.
I can do that, but this is why I need the listeners' help, though. This is where fun, cool, and I know, too, you don't know everything I've done, so I don't even worry about that. But if people could give me some ideas, because I was literally Googling, and like I said, even that terrarium idea for reptiles, I'm like, we've even done that because we've had lizards and frogs and snakes as pets, and so there's not much in that world of keeping animals I haven't done, so that's not really, but yeah, I'm just interested in ideas of things that, would, like Mike said, stretch me, but that I might actually like, because I think that's the other thing that was cool. I mean, there's some of the stuff, like I'm not going to be an artist necessarily, but I did enjoy some of the painting, and then there's pickleball that I really like, so anyway, if people have ideas, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah. Well, I applaud you for challenging me and bringing this idea to the forefront.
I'm glad I could help you that
So I feel like I'm a better person now because I did my Big 12. And I wouldn't have even thought about it had you not mentioned it. The podcast wouldn't be here. My book wouldn't be here. My tattoo wouldn't be here. There's so much I would have missed out on this year.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So next week, your homework, Beth. We're going to start the show with the big reveal of your Big 12.
That's why I need the listeners to step up.
Step up, listeners.
Yeah, I need it.
Yeah.
Yes, I need all the help I can get. Yes.
So,
yep.
But I'll post mine so people can see.
For inspiration. It'll be like, you're the inspiration.
Yeah, I'll post on the Facebook page. I'll post what I accomplished and what I'm going to try for next year.
Yeah.
And you can try to figure out what your Big 12 was this year.
Oh, and really cool before we go. So for my birthday, my mom got me a canvas. What size is that? 11 by 14?
Maybe something like that. Yeah.
It's a picture of me, and it was after church in this dress sitting with Cam, and he looks so regal, doesn't he?
They do. It looks like a professional picture.
Yes, and so
that's going to be on the next. That's going to be on the book cover of your next book.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to have to do something about a book about Cam, like maybe from Cam's point of view, because he's so intelligent.
You could write a kid's book.
Well, I could, but I don't. I am sort of childlike in my thinking sometimes.
You are.
Yeah.
Just get AI to do your illustrations for you.
Yeah, I think I've got friends who are artistic that could probably do the illustrations. So.
I'm on these Facebook self-publishing sites, and I know we're going to wrap up because time's up. But people will write on there. They'll be like, my coloring book got denied by Amazon. What is wrong with it? And people are just brutal. They'll be like, this looks like generic AI coloring sheets. And the person will be like, well, yeah, but it was my idea that told AI what to do it. And everybody's like, you're an idiot. Like, why would somebody buy some crappy, like, here's a teddy bear with a candy cane? You know, like
because no one else could ever think of that.
Yeah. But the coloring books look awful that people are trying to develop. And so now we have a good friend, Melissa. She hand draws all her stuff.
Right. And that's what I was thinking. If I did a children's book,
art.
I could do hers because her art
Maybe
is
you
so
could
whimsical.
collab.
We should.
You write the book and she does the illustrations
because
for it.
she's so whimsical.
She is
her art is like, and it's so fun. Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good idea. That could be one of my ideas, but
Write
I
a
need
children's
Melissa's
book.
buy-in.
She'll buy in.
Yeah, I just also need help. What am I going to write the children's book about if not Cam? I don't know. I'll have to really think about it.
I don't know. The
Yeah.
Adventures of Cam and Reese.
Yes.
All right.
And then those 2 cats that moved in. Yeah.
All right. Well, Beth, it's been fun.
It has been.
Listeners, thank you so much for tuning in once again. This is Mike.
Oh, and happy anniversary. This is Beth. Happy podcast anniversary.
Podcast anniversary. Yeah, 1 year today.
Yeah.
So happy anniversary for Hey, Are You Still There?